Most people think that you need money to get into Airbnb, and the truth is, you don't. Maybe if you think about it like Airbnb arbitrage on one side, you need to pay money out of pocket, you need to pay money monthly whether you make money or don't, and you need to furnish the property. With Airbnb, I don't even know what to call it at this point because it's so new. Luxury Airbnb arbitrage or villa management at the other side, you don't need any money out of pocket. You're just going into a simple partnership agreement with the homeowner. You make money when the homeowner makes money. The traditional short-term rental model is low margins, so it's not only Airbnb arbitrage, so they're also charging $3, $5, maybe max $800 a night just to make those small little returns. When you charge those cheap rates, you attract those people that will probably party in your home. So you're also dealing with a headache. And not to mention that everyone and their mother is doing this type of strategy. Everyone thinks that Airbnb is like the way to get rich. And maybe it was back in 2018 or maybe 2019. But right now the market's just way too saturated with those small little tiny homes. No one wants to stay in your shoebox. And those people with Airbnb arbitrage hide all those hidden fees that you have. You have to come out of pocket first month's rent, last month's rent, and a security deposit which equals the month's rent. So you're gonna have to come out of pocket. Let's say that you're renting something at $5,000 a month. You have to initially come out of pocket $15,000, and then that doesn't come furnished. You also have to come out with more money for furniture, and furniture is not cheap, especially if you want some good returns. You can't furnish it cheaply. You're gonna have to furnish it with an additional, let's say it's a 5-bedroom home. Let's say it's $2,000 per bedroom, which is actually pretty cheap. That's $10,000 right there. Let's say it's another $5,000 for the living room. That's $15,000 right there. Let's say it's another $2,000 for the kitchen. That's $17,000 right there. You're already out the gate, probably $25,000 to just start. You haven't made any money yet. And that doesn't include the photography fees and all these different type of stuff. Why would you do that to yourself? This is why most people get luxury wrong. One, they treat it like a normal Airbnb. They think that just because they put the listing out there and there's no service behind it and they do the bare minimum, that they're either gonna get a good review or the dollar amount that they want. And that's just not the case. If you wouldn't stay there, why would someone pay you to stay there? You have high expectations, right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the people that pay $1,000+ a night, maybe that's a low end. Let's talk higher end. $5,000 to $10,000 a night. You're probably like absolutely insane. Like, who would pay those numbers? People with expectations. They also don't understand hospitality. Hospitality is a service industry. You serve people, but with a smile. Have you ever been to a nice restaurant and the waiter is absolutely amazing? They bring you water, they fill up your water glass without you even saying anything. The second you take a sip, they fill it up again. They ask you if you need anything else. They're talking to you as if you guys are friends. That is called service, and hospitality is all about service. Also, most people don't understand the concept of a brand. The reasoning behind a brand is more than just the look of something. A brand is how people feel when they're with it. That's the whole reason why you go to Starbucks versus a regular coffee house. That's the reason why you have to go splurge on Louis Vuitton rather than going to whatever, Polo. I don't know what else is out there, but there's reasons why you go for the higher end product, because it makes you feel a certain way. And that's exactly what people do with villa rentals. You want to build a brand around this villa rental and have people want to stay there. It's kind of the reason why people stay at the Ritz-Carlton versus a regular motel or a hotel. Doesn't matter. There's differences to it. There's luxury and then there's normal. I'm showing you the luxury side. And there's different things that are actually required to win. You need different communication skills. You need systems. Systems are number one. You need systems with communication, cleaning, maintenance, all these different type of things, and concierge. And you also need vendor relationships. You need relationships with the upsell people. Like, let's say that your client wants to come in and he also wants to get a car. He also wants to get a chef. He also wants to get caviar if he wants. You need all these different relationships with vendors. Imagine someone sending you multiple of tens of thousands of dollars to your bank account without ever hearing you, seeing you, or even talking to you. And that is the case over here. You need trust and you need an identity to show to the client that you are a person to be trusted. There's a story that I want to say about a time that I was checking in a client on New Year's Eve, and this client was a very well-known rapper, and this rapper called me at 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Well, his agent, his manager called me at 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve and was like, do you have anything available? And I was like, it's New Year's Eve, I don't have anything. And then I came to a thought that I have one more house available because I just had a checkout that day. So I was like, you know what? I have this one house available, but he's gonna have to send money right now, or he's gonna have to pay cash at check-in, and you're gonna have to tell me right now if he wants it because I am at dinner. And then she's like, yes. So I leave the restaurant and I go to this property to check him in. You know, most rappers come with their whole entourage. They come with a bunch of different people. And this specific rapper came with 10 different dudes and his security as well. And I check him in to the property and he's paying me $25,000 in cash right there. We're counting it and I grab the money and I'm like, okay, have a good stay. If you need anything, let me know. I leave and I'm walking to my car in the driveway. And then he's like, the rapper was like, yo, hold up, come back. I was like, oh my God, what now? I go to the house and then he's like, there's something in this room, in one of the rooms. His entourage person said that. I don't even know what to call them. The people in his group took me to the room and was like, what's that on the bed? Then I was like, what? And then he points his flash from his phone onto the bed and was like, right there. What's that? And he's pointing at an ant. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, it's an ant. I'm gonna change the sheets right away. So I'm in the middle of changing the sheets. And he's like, that ain't no ant, that's a bed bug. I'm like, how's that a bed bug? It's an ant. Look, the mattresses have mattress protectors on it. It's absolutely impossible for a bed bug to be here. And a bed bug looks completely different than an ant. And he's like, nope, it's a bug on the bed, so it's a bed bug. And he was like, I want my money back. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. If it's a bug on the bed and it's a bed bug, then a bug on the bed it is. I give him his money back and he leaves. And I was absolutely beyond pissed. But the point of that story was just to show you that the smallest little ant could change someone's perspective on a property forever. So it could change their perspective with you and with that property. That guy never ended up booking with me ever again. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'm welcoming you back to Miami so I could host you again. And I'm sorry about that. There was another time that a client checked into a property and the property just wasn't up to par or not up to her expectations. This was back in 2020. And she was talking about all these different type of things and stuff like that. And when I'm on the phone with her, she's just talking about whatever she saw at check-in. And I'm just asking her, what is it that you want? What is it that how could we make this better for you? Like, I'm sorry about all these different things and I could fix all these different things, but you're obviously not going to be happy even after these things are fixed. So what can we do for that? And then I was just asking her and she was just like, yeah, but this and this and that is broken and this and that. And I was like, and it'll be fixed, but just tell me, what do you want? And then she was like, well, I don't know. They don't really know what they want. So what I suggested was, let me send you a driver and he'll take you to breakfast on me. And everything's completely on me. And she's like, I would like that. That is an example of what luxury guests expect. They expect high levels of service, and I am here to provide it. There's a difference between being a host and being an operator. The difference is a host just plays it out, doesn't care about the guest, just checks in, checks out, sends the codes to get in, changes the pricing, all these different types of things, and doesn't care about the guest experience. An operator, from the second the guest books to the second the guest checks out, we are hands-on. We make sure that the check-in process goes smoothly. We check in with the guest. We check in with the guests throughout their stay. We ask them if they need any additional services like a chef, a private driver, a yacht, a car, a jet, whatever, any additional services, because we are beyond the villa. And we just simply want the guests to have an overall good experience. And this is the real opportunity over here. This is the luxury market. There's very, very few players in this space, which means that there's less competition. So you're not competing with someone's shoebox. Higher LTV over here. And it's way more scalable if you know how to run the back end. And that is exactly why I built Rental Copilot. It is the luxury backend to help scale individual brands. I help solve every single problem that a person or an individual. Rental Copilot is basically your copilot to every single rental that you have. Subscribe down below if you want to learn more about the short-term rental space or luxury listings with deal flows, systems, operations, or even client stories.